I'm just pleased to have the invitation, and I'm going to just make a slight correction on what I saw in my background. I'm a New York born, but I moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands and spent 46 years there, where I retired from the Virgin Islands Department of Education. So I'm going to move a little bit forward and say that my title being a roadmap for a decade of action for SDG for communities, for me begins where my visual is adaptable, because I think where you have vision, where you have value, where you have vitality, you can and should be able to pull off a victory. But where does that begin now that we have started again after the pandemic of 2019? What started as a global health catastrophe soon developed into a global human and socio-economic disaster, the COVID-19 pandemic, and its effect on all of the 17 SDGs. They span social, environmental, and economic priorities. These goals, adopted by the UN member states as universally acceptable, that they touch on everything. This broad support was drawn from previously accepted goals in the recent history of the UN. So the ongoing resultings of COVID-19 make it very clear that it is very important now to seek a revolutionary recovery from COVID-19, one that solves the crisis and also lowers the dangers of possible future crises, as well as the restart of the implementation of the 2030 Agenda and SDGs within the decade of action. We know that there are less than 10 years to 2030, and so much work yet to be done. A roadmap defines a plan by establishing activities, defining milestones, creating timelines, and work streams. And within my presentation, focusing on a roadmap for a decade of action for SDG, 4 readings and 3 readings. Involve everyone and everything in order to achieve the global goals. We shall endeavor to forge an unstoppable force to make sure nobody is left behind. We will identify hazards, encourage zeal and ambition. We need to lead the world in eradicating extreme poverty, combating climate change, be held accountable, and show what's possible when action produces results. Boasting creativity and finding answers, we will highlight strategies that increase accessibility and highlight the potential of concepts. It will advance technology, finance, and environmental innovation while giving young people a voice in our neighborhoods and cities. The 23rd Agenda for the Decade of Action is faced with many challenges, as we know. As we move forward, action is needed now. Let us connect, care, and commit.